Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you guys the most edgiest deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! It is for you super emo, edgy guys out there that used to listen to Linkin Park, Blink-182, My Chemical Romance back in the day. If you don't know those bands, you're probably out of my age group and you're a little bit young. If you do know those, high five! And we're going to be profiling the edgy deck, Cyber Dark, or as you see as I put the top card, Cyber Edgy. Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I had to make these references because of Zane and how edgy he was in the anime during this time when he had this deck. If you guys are wondering where I'm going to be doing a Cyber Dragon deck eventually, I'm working on that already. By the time you see this deck profile, it's been working on. It should be coming out within the next couple of weeks. So, just want to let you guys know that. But yeah, if you guys didn't watch my Crystal Beast deck profile, go check that out. But like I said in that deck profile, my three favorite characters, Zane is number 1, Jesse's number 2, and Alexis, because she's Alexis, is my number 3. So yeah, guys, those are my favorite characters from GX. I've always loved all the different characters from GX. Chaz was awesome. You know, there were so many good side characters. Tier 2 characters, we can say, in that anime that I always really loved. And a lot of decks from that era I've always liked because it was pretty much the early archetypes that came out in that era. That was some of the original archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out during the GX era that I've always been a fond of, be it ancient, gear, be it Crystal Beast, be it Cyber Dark, Cyber Dragons, Heroes, Roids. There's a lot of old school archetypes that suck that have gotten support over the years that have become a little bit better, which is awesome for fun casual play. And that's one of these type of decks, which is Cyber Darks. Always love this deck. It's a fun deck, and I picked up this deck originally and started playing with it back when the original support came out. When the initial support came out with the newer ones, so things like the field spell that we got eventually, which the deck really needed, and Cyber Claw and Cyber Cannon, which were very essential for the deck. So yeah, I've played this deck for a while now, a couple of years, and it's one of those decks that I've always thoroughly enjoyed playing for fun. So let's get into the OG, as I call them, Cyber Dark monsters. So I'll put these guys down here too. So let's talk about all these here. So Cyber Edgy, or Cyber Edge, Cyber Dark Edge, helps you, can attack your opponent directly. That's what he does pretty much. Cyber Dark Horn, over here, pretty much can do piercing. And Cyber Dark Keel can attack your opponent, can do burn damage to your opponent. So the two best ones, as you can imagine, are probably Cyber Edge and Cyber Horn. Those are the two best ones. But Keel is there just in case, because you need to run all of them because they're very integral to the deck and how it functions. So, yep, those are the OG ones that we run. I've kind of rarity bumped this deck to some degree. I don't have the ultimate rares, but I have the DT. I've always loved this deck. So when I picked it up originally a couple of years ago now, it's been about 3 years. I originally brought DT copies because I always loved DTs, especially the ones that these were printed in. So let's talk about the modern ones, which are what make the deck go around. I've seen people run other tech options in the deck, but me personally, I just like to run these. Some people run different dragons, which work with the Cyber Darks. That's up to you if you want to run that. That's perfectly fine if you do. Me personally, I just like running these 6. So I'm going to read over them to you because I even get their effects confused to some degree. I always have to read them when I'm searching them out. So it's Cyber Dark Cannon. You can discard this card, add 1 machine Cyber Dark Dragon from your deck to your hand. So you can discard this, it sets it up in grave, you search a Cyber Dark, there you go. Next, you can, during your damage calculation, if a monster equipped with this card battles, you can send 1 monster from your deck to your graveyard. This can help set up for future combo plays. So say, for example, I have Cannon in hand, or I have Cannon equipped to Horn, right? Then I can send maybe Cyber Claw to graveyard, so next turn if I have maybe a Cyber Edge, I can go normal summon Cyber Edge, equip, there you go, then I can get this effect. So that's how that works. If you guys are wondering, before I go into any depth of this deck, how this deck works, it really functions around the field spell card, which is essential to the deck, Cyber Infernoid. This card is very essential to the deck, and it kind of makes all your Cyber Dark monsters, your OG ones, when they're equipped with these guys, into kind of mini Cosmo Dark Destroyers. That's the best example I can give. It's not totally accurate, but it's the best kind of example I can give to you off the top of my head, and the way people described me this deck back when it originally came out. It makes them into mini Dark Destroyers, kind of. Next we have Cyber Claw, which if you guys don't know what Cyber Claw does, you can discard this card, add one Cyber Dragon spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Now, to my knowledge, we don't have a Cyber Dark Trap yet. Hopefully we get that one day. I guess it's just in there just in case. Maybe I'm wrong. The second effect, during your damage calculation, if a monster equipped with this card battles, you can send one monster from your extra deck to graveyard, which is essential. In my humble estimation, they're both equally important, but Cyber Claw is a little bit more so because A, it helps search out your field spell, which is essential, and B, you can send cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. Aha, you may say. I think I know where you're going with this. Yes. So this sets up things like Five-Headed Dragon Engraved, so you can equip it. This helps you send Inst to the graveyard, Alternate Entity Inst to pop cards, and Predaplant Chimera to do, fusion plays and whatnot, which is awesome. So that's why Cyber Dark Claw is really nice in the deck. So that's all for the Cyber Darks in the main deck. Next, I run 2 Black Salvo. Black Salvo is awesome in this deck. It's pretty much another way to incorporate a different mechanic, and with Master Rule 5 out, this card's amazing. Like, it's so awesome because you can go for fusions and these main deck monsters and then go for synchros. Ugh, the versatility of Master Rule 5, right? So what this helps you do is this helps you pretty much because all your main Cyber Dark monsters are level 3 and also level 4. So as you can see, they're level 3s and 4s. This helps you go for level 6 synchro plays, and in addition to that, can help you go for level 7 synchro plays, which is a nice option to go for the deck with Black Salvo. So Black Salvo, really nice in the deck as a 2-of. I would not run it as a 3-of because it does take setup. It's not going to be your main normal summon. It's an optionary play in the deck, which is awesome if you draw it. So Black Salvo can help you go for some synchro plays such as Moonlight, F.A. Darn Dragster. It can also help you go for Black Rose Dragon, Coral Dragon, Starlight cards to draw cards. Whatever you want to run for level 6s and 7s, you can run in this deck because of Black Salvo. So that's how that works. I like it as a nice option in the deck. In addition to that, we run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs because you want some hand traps. If you want to run Call by the Grave, run it. You can maybe you can take this out for call. Me, I just want some negation, so that's why I'm running Ash Blossom, because this deck really wants to go second, not first. So Ash Blossom is really nice in this deck, and I prefer it over Call by the Grave, but you can run Call by the Grave if you want to. Next, I run 3 Infernoid, the field spell, which we talked about. Makes all your Cyber Darks into mini Dark Destroyers. I run 1 Terraforming, which is essential. Now, you want to get to this card as quickly as possible, and even though Terraforming has been hit, you have multiple ways of searching this card out. I wanted to add the Terraforming just to add extra consistency, because the main way you're going to search it out is probably from Cyber Dark Claw, because you can discard it, set it up in grave for, like we talked about earlier, with your Cyber Drac Horn, your Edge, your Keel, but you can also search out this card. But I wanted multiple ways to searching it, so you have technically 7 different ways of searching this card. The 3 Claw, if you hard draw it, and also the 1 Terraforming. So you should get to this card first turn, hopefully. So yes, 3 of that card, and the 1 Terraforming. For your fusion cards, we run Cyber Dark Impact, Overload Fusion, Future Fusion, which don't discount how good this card is still. These are your fusion-esque cards in the deck, I will say. Do I like them at this ratio? Yes. Future Fusion may be a little bit slow, guys, but it's still a great card in this deck, even as a 1-of. You can search it out, which is awesome. And I really like these cards in the deck overall. Next, I run 3 Allure of Darkness because, hey guys, we're pretty much all dark in the deck. And I will admit, for the most part, sometimes you'll draw multiple Cyber Darks, the big boys, Keel, Edge, Horn. And you only need 1 in your hand, technically, or 1 or 2. So you can just Allure of Darkness some dead cards in your hand to draw more cards. Like, what's the harm in that? So 3 Alert of Darkness for consistency. Next, 2-Pod Duality. I've thought about this. And, you know, even though this deck has things like Black Salvo, and it does some special summoning with the fusions, you're not doing it a lot in this deck. This deck your main plays you're going to be doing is you're going to have either a claw, or you're going to have a cannon engraved, and then you're going to be normal summoning a horn, an edge, or a keel. And that's going to be your main combo play doing that turn. That's legitimately going to be your main combo play. So for that reason, guys, is the reason why I decided to run this ratio. I decided to run the 2 pots, because to get these cards' effects off, you're mainly just going to be normal summoning, equip, attack, pass. Pod Duality adds a little bit of consistency to all that. So for that reason is the reason why I'm running it. So that's up to you if you want to run it, but so far it's been working pretty well in the deck. In addition to that, for some one-off spells, I run 1 Upstart Goblin for consistency, 1 Foolish Burial, because you can set things up if you're dead. If you just really need a card, like you need a cannon or a claw engraved, just send it right away and set up. So this is really good. This is like the 7th, I guess you could say, version of that. 1 Monster Reborn. A lot of your monsters rely upon normal summon, but sometimes you can just do certain plays with Monster Reborn, or you're just reborning your opponent's monsters for simple plays. So I like it in the deck. It's nice. For traps, I'm running 2 Stormy Mirror Force. This is to protect your monsters, because they're not going to be super big and you can just clear opponents' boards. So I do like the 2 Stormy Mirror Force in the deck. You don't have to run it, but it's nice. And lastly, 3 Infinite Impermanence, because I want a little bit more negation besides Ash Blossom, because the deck really doesn't have it. And this is just a nice option to run in the deck in addition to everything else. So for that reason is the reason why we're running this. So that's why I'm running 3 Infinite Impermanence. On to your extra deck, guys. Let's get into that. We run our Dark Magician Field Center. I run two of these. 2 Cyber Dragon Dark. 2 Cyber Darkness Dragon, which is the newer one, which takes a little bit more setup. This is the OG, the original, but they're pretty easy to go for with Future Fusion, Cyber Overload, and the Fusion spell card. So pretty straightforward. 5-Headed Dragon, we talked about this. You set it up in Graveyard to get your monsters big. 3 Elder Entity Nist. You're going to send this to Graveyard to pop stuff. 2 Protoplant, search your fusion cards. And then for your synchro plays, your synchro options, because Protoplant Chimera searches fusions, inst pops things. For synchros, Stardust Dragon, Warrior, Coral Dragon to pop things, Black Rose Dragon to destroy things, Moonlight to bounce things, and F.A. Darn Dragster for negation purposes. So pretty much you have your level 7s and your level 6s. Pretty straightforward, guys. But I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. Like I said, it's a fun deck to play. Like, it really, really is. Is it super meta? No. No. It's a fun deck. But is it a really cool, fun deck and it's very unique? Yeah. A lot of GX decks have that thing about them where I will say they're very unique in their playing styles. And this is one of those things. Crystal Beast is another one of them. They're very unique in how they option. There's not a lot of decks like them out there, or any at all. And that's one of the reasons I like a lot of the GX era decks. It was a very creative, archetypal building period. And it's really cool to see how they developed and the new support they've gotten over the years. But hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. If you did, give it a thumbs up and go super edgy emo Zane. We love you still nonetheless. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, everybody.